been a while since I've been reading stories on here. One of the reasons I stopped was it took so long to make the visuals. But I've been noticing some other channels don't even bother anymore. So, as an experiment, let's see how this goes. Would you watch my stories if it was just me narrating and the screen is dark black? Now, of course, I suggest you put on your headphones. I hope you enjoy this. And please let me know in the comments as I read every single one. And as always, don't turn around. Julian sat in a strange room, staring at the bizarre and futuristic machine as a creepy fan whirled above his head. He was there alone and getting more anxious by the minute. A fly buzzed by his forehead and for a split second landed on his knee. The machine, it was freaky looking, like something out of this world. Now he knew the man that he was there to meet was a scientist of some type, but didn't know much more than that. All he knew, this was the first time after 18 years on Earth he'd meet his dad. A dad he never knew he had. You see, Julian grew up from one orphanage to another. Now, he had always hoped that someone would adopt him, but anytime an adult couple came into the room, they always chose another kid, and not him. After a while, Julian gave up on the hope of someone ever rescuing him from the hell of what was a horrific childhood. He got in a lot of fights. Some he won, some he lost. Julian wasn't the strongest, nor was he the weakest. But he was a good kid who just learned to get by. On his 18th birthday, he walked out of that group home so he didn't have to take another beating. And it was then that he found out through a hacker friend of his who his birth parents were. His mom had apparently died giving birth to Julian, and his dad was so devastated and depressed that he just had to give Julian up. After so many years, however, Julian's dad had become a scientist of some sort, and today was the day that they would be reunited. This fly just circled Julian's head and landed on his hand, and Julian waved it off. His eyes watched the fly land on a piece of paper nearby. Julian sighed, looked to his phone. Yeah, his dad was a no-show. As Julian glanced around the room, he tried to get a sense of maybe who his dad was. There were cages of animals. Some were alive and some were sleeping. Nah, they were dead. Why would someone keep dead mice? This fly just started to buzz violently around the piece of paper on the table. And Julian was just growing more irritated. He was getting emotional because he had lived out this entire moment of meeting his father many, many times in his mind before. And all he wanted was for his dad to hug him. Julian looked at the strange machine. It was tall and as large as him, and somewhat looked like a gigantic washing machine with the door wide open. He suddenly saw the fly blur by and enter, and for a moment Julian thought about closing the door, but then he thought it would be cruel. Julian stood up and paced back and forth, patiently waiting and hoping for the arrival of his father. And then it dawned on him. His father wasn't going to turn up. But he just didn't want to believe it. So he sat back down on the chair and he waited and waited and waited. Another hour, during which time his posture slumped His back felt weak. His nerves were on edge. And it was at that point that fly was right back on that piece of paper, buzzing and irritating the hell out of Julian now. It had been flying back and forth between the paper and Julian, paper and Julian, paper and Julian, and goddamn it was bugging the shit out of him. And finally Julian went boom! He slammed his fist down, splattering that fly all over the paper. He didn't feel any remorse as he let out a sigh. Julian was frustrated and wanted to get the hell out of there, but yet something still kept him. The hope that maybe his long-lost father would show up. Julian's eyes drifted around the room and then finally looked down to the paper. And that's when he started to read it. Dearest Julian, I can't wait to see you. This week has been the most miraculous week of my life ever. I have been reunited with you and have had a breakthrough in my life's work. For the longest time, I've experimented with gene transference, and I've succeeded in something that will truly revolutionize and transform the world as we know it. And I want you to be the first person in the world to see it. And so, with that being said, and as this is so amazing, I just want this to be a gift that we can share together. Now, son, when you arrive, you will see a fly. It is not an ordinary fly. It is me, your father. Yes, it is me. Julian stepped back, shocked, as he continued reading. Take me and put me back into the machine and hit the green switch. And you'll see, I'll transform back and appear to you. Son, I've dreamt of this day for years. I can't wait to be with you. This is a new start for the both of us together. Julian gulped. Our new life can start. This must be a joke. There must be some cameras or something. He took the piece of paper and he scooped up the squash fly. He hit the button and he waited. And waited. The machine made a rumbling noise, and then all of a sudden a flash occurred within. And when the light dissipated and the machine stopped whining, Julian approached and looked inside. And he saw his dad for the first time. Mangled in all different pieces like he'd been hit by a truck.